This is Danny with QuadLugs, and this is part 2 of the mini QuadLugs build. As you can tell from where we ended last time, quite a bit has gotten done. What I did, I used Sunny Sky motors, and they're the 2204 2300 kV, and Magic Simon K flashed ESC in this 12 amp, and I ordered these from Buddy RC, and they right now have a promo going, and you order the motor and you order the ESC, and you get the ESC free, and that's up to 4 of them. So you can outfit this, you know, at a real decent cost, with the ESCs being furnished free. And so far they seem to be real good ESCs. I mean, they have a good heat sink on them, and one of the few ESCs I've seen with LEDs in them. So anyway, this is them mounted, and what I like about them too is the X motor mount. It's a real heavy duty motor mount, so that's really good. Now the holes, and I've heard this on other Sunny Sky motors, for some reason the holes aren't lining up really good with the holes in our motor arms. But if you're going to put screws in them, you know, you can line one hole up, and the others are very, very close. You can line one hole up and then, you know, drill out the other 2 or the other 3, and it's just what it's going to wind up doing is just oblong in the hole when you do that. If you're using tie bands like I do on most all of mine, these 4-inch tie bands, you get one of them in, and I tell you what, if you hold the motor up above the motor mount and you drop all your tie bands in, when you start tightening them down, it you know, pull the motor up to the motor mount. You don't have to do anything to the holes. They match up well enough that if you use tie bands, they'll pull down real well. Just hold the motor up above the motor mount when you put in your tie band, and then push everything down at one time and cinch them up, and it works really good. On these I just put 2. Yeah, I found that's all I really need on them. And of course, you know, you have to solder your connectors on, which I did. The ESCs, I soldered the connectors on the ESCs. And I didn't cut any of these wires. They worked out pretty good the way they laid out. And then on the power distribution for the ESCs, I just laid all the wiring down, you know, coming out one way, and then I cut them all to the same length. And then I just soldered them all together with another piece of wire going into the connector. And it made a, you know, I think a real neat job doing it that way. It's real easy. Just take your time and do it. One little thing that I do when I'm soldering this many, you know, 4 wires together with just one, you know, so I had these and I soldered this wire into it. There's one little trick I use, and you know, maybe everyone's doing it, but I get a tie band, a small tie band, and I'll put these wires together, and then I'll cinch the tie band, you know, a little bit, and that holds all the wires together. I put this one that I'm gonna solder to all these in the middle of all those, and you know, crimp it down a little bit, soldered up, done. Works very well like that. If there, you know, there's a lot of great videos out there on soldering, so you know, I won't get into that, but if that's something you need me to do on how I do it, I'll be more than happy to you know, post a video on that. Just let me know. Now on the ESCs, I just spaced them out, and I drilled a hole, if you'll notice here, a hole through this deck here, and you know, I fed the wires through and in this hole, or through this hole here on the mount here to go out to the arm, or the body support lug rather, to go to the arm. Made a real neat job, And then I used Velcro to hold the ESCs down, and I used the dots. You know, they're about 3/4 inch round, I guess, and I put it on there and just use them to attach it to the wood. And all 4 of them like that, it spaces it out. Works really good. Then instead of putting them on this bottom side and putting this piece of wood like we had talked about before here, I wound up, putting them on top of this piece, which, was the top. Then I cut another 7 by 2 1/4, and I put 2 1/4 by half, so 1/4 inch thick pieces here to raise it up a 1/2 inch. And I just did that because I thought 1/4 was going to be enough, and it wasn't. I wanted a little bit more room, so I put another 1/4. So when you cut this piece of wood here, you can just put a 1/2 by half, a piece of this wood, the motor arm. So you can use 1/2 by half, cut it 2 1/4, and then put that on top. You'll need a screw that's 1 inch long, and it'll make it through and just barely come through inside right there. So it works out really good. So cut you another piece, 7 by 2 1/4, use a 1/2 by half on each side, and then after you have all the ESCs mounted, put this on top, screw it down, you're in good shape. Here I'm using the mini KK2 board. I really like them. I'm using them. This is my second one to use, and the other one I'm using is on one of our tricopters, and it's doing a real good job. So, we'll see how this one flies here. Either toward the end of this video, it's real windy today, either toward the end of this video, or if not, then we'll have a follow-up video with it flying. And I'm using a lemon receiver, and works out real good. If you need any info on this mini KK, just let me know, and again, I'll do another video on that. And this just Velcroed to the bottom plate here. But they're just like the full-size KK. The only thing they're the size of the, the nays and those. Now it's smaller in footprint, same functions, same everything as a full size. So fit in there really well, if you notice. Worked out real well, and we'll see how it flies. We're going to go ahead and put the top piece, and this is 2-inch Velcro, and I'm putting the loop side down here because I used the hook on the other items that I'm gonna put on here, and it fits real good. It's like an 1/8 inch on either side. Makes it a really nice looking job. Now it's going to cover our screws up that we use to put the top plate on, but if you ever have to get to it, obviously you can just peel it back and get to the screws. So that kind of finishes that off, and then our battery will fit there, tie in. If you have a Mobius, put it there, and it'll work out real good. So we're going to see how this thing flies. I think it made a real nice job. The connectors here to the ESCs for the controls, they're really long on this one, which is good. I mean, it's better to be that way than the other. But they were way too long for this, so I cut all of these to make it a little bit neater there, where it ties into the KK board. So I did cut all these down and repin them on the end, and made a real nice job. Now what I want to do on this is, when I run my Fat Shark, I'm gonna go ahead and put Velcro here before the build is finished, and then a Fat Shark will fit here, and the antenna come right through this area here, and it'll be less won't be as obstructed as it was on the other one I showed you, the original one. By putting this on the inside, it actually hampered the fit of the antenna coming through here, where this is going to be a lot better for that. But it makes a real good build. It's not hard to do at all. I kind of didn't film each little item because I took my time with it, and you know, sometimes I do that. I'll just slow down a lot, and it's, I guess, a lot more fun to me, or for me, whenever I do that. So I kind of enjoyed the build by slowing down a little bit, and of course it would have been huge long, and I say huge and long, you know, I spent about, I guess, 2 hours doing all of this, taking my time. But you can see it's not hard to do, makes a real good job. And if you've watched the other video, I kind of left it off with this on the bottom and the top, and then you know, with the new top here and the half on each side, you know, you have plenty. It's real nice here with this off. You set your ESCs underneath, mount them, run your wiring. It's really nice to work. Finish up your controls on your controller, and then the last thing I do is put this top piece on that holds this, and it ties this piece in. So, you know, it works really well that way. If you have any problems, or if you're not sure, you know, not clear with it, you know, let me know, and I'll do, you know, a lot more in-depth assembly of this, because I'm going to be building another one, and I might just do it anyway and post it, and if someone wants to watch the long version, well, it'll be up there too. Anyway, this is Danny with QuadLugs. I'm going to go ahead and prop it out, and you know, you get nice prop nuts with it too. That's pretty cool. But I've got everything checked out on it. I checked out my motor rotation. Should be ready to fly. So anyway, we'll see you in a little bit with some flight footage on it. And again, this is Danny with QuadLugs, and thank you a lot for watching. And I think you're gonna like this one. It's really good. It's an easy build, and flies really good. Talk to you later.